Hi everybody, this is my video response to Module 7 discussion this week over Chapter 19, Group Communication, Teamwork, and Leadership. So I chose for my 3 questions to answer number 1, number 2, and number 3. So I'll start with number 1. And that is, how does the chapter's explanation of group norms influence communication within a team, and can you share an example from your personal or professional experience where group norms shaped the way communication occurred? So from the chapter, I'll start with the pages. That was on page 6 and 10 is where I got that one. And so the norms they kind of come in the different stages of creating a group or initiating the formation of a group. So that is the norming stage, which makes sense. It's kind of self-descriptive there. And the norming stage, which is the 3rd step in the process there, that's where, the group will come together and they kind of decide on customs, standards, behavioral expectations, how you conduct yourself when you get to a meeting. A lot of times meetings will have kind of a set process to them. I know at my job, we are expected to be there at a certain time. Everyone kind of has their tasks that they do once they arrive at the meeting, and then everyone is sitting down and ready to go for the meeting to listen and be ready to receive information. And so an example of personal or professional experience where group norms shaped the way communication occurred. So that's a good one because like experiences with work, I'll use that. When there's new employees and we're starting our manager meeting, it's pretty obvious when people are brand new to our culture and our ways of doing things and our set kind of routines because they're not accustomed to the norms. So they kind of stick out a little bit of like, oh yeah, they haven't done this before, so maybe we should help them out, give them some pointers, some tips, and get them caught up to speed realistically to make sure that they're not falling behind and they understand, what's expected of them, the standards of the meeting, what types of things to discuss during that meeting so that they're not bringing up things that could just be a one-on-one with one other manager or a one-on-one with the GM. So when people don't understand the norms, it can really affect communication because it puts a pause on things. You have to catch them up to speed and make sure they understand what's happening and just get them caught up to where the rest of the group is at. So that's my experience for that one. Number 2 is based on the chapter's insights into leadership styles. How have different leadership approaches affected teamwork in your experience, and what leadership style have you found most effective in your own professional groups? So for this question, the book talked about in chapter 19 leadership styles on page 32. And so the 2 leadership styles that I wanted to talk about for this question was the appointed leadership and then emergent leadership, because I've had experience with both. So I thought those would be easy ones to talk about and give good examples for. So with the appointed leadership style, that's one that is chosen by authority, right? Like your upper management is going to say, okay, this is the person we're hiring for this position. They have the qualifications. We see potential in them. So this is going to be who you report to. That would be just a nice, simple way of explaining an appointed leader. And then that other one that I wanted to compare it to is the emergent leadership. So the emergent leadership is more of this position becoming or coming to fruition out of need. So a good example for that, I could use like my very first job I ever had when I worked in dental, and I worked in a group as a dental assistant, and so there was, I think 4 or 5 of us girls who were dental assistants, and we ended up kind of having an emergent leader out of the 4 or 5 of us, that kind of was that lead person who did a really good job of kind of directing us where to go. A lot of us were brand new into the field, and so we didn't quite know what we were doing. And so this one person with experience was like, okay, let me kind of help direct you and lead you and where we need to go with things and to be effective and time efficient. So that's just a basic example of that one. And appointed by authority, I already gave my example for that one. So I will move on to question number 3, which is, how does the chapter describe the importance of diversity in teamwork? And can you relate a situation where diversity positively or negatively impacted your team's performance and communication? So the importance of teamwork, that was talked about on page 30 of chapter 19. And in the chapter, it kind of talked about getting new eyes, in a sense, on something. When maybe you have a creative block, or you're kind of out of ideas and you're like, I can't think of anything else that I could add to this, or how to make it more interesting for people. So the experience that I wanted to give as an example for that one, number 3, positively or negatively impact your team's performance and communication. I would say this was positive because in the personal training department at my job, we have a yearly kind of fitness challenge, and we've been doing it for a really long time, even before I got to the company. And it used to be great. It used to be super popular. They would get hundreds of people to sign up. It would be this huge event for the facility. And kind of as years have gone on, especially after COVID, just numbers have never been the same. It's been, 30, 40 people, nowhere near what it used to be. And so, we had a meeting. I'll use last year as an example. We had a meeting together with the personal training department, and we sat down and we're like, well, what the heck can we do to kind of resurge this and get a new interest happening here? And we just brainstormed, and we just couldn't brainstorm anymore. We have spent a month just trying to figure out ways that we could make it more fun and interesting to people. And so we ended up with this list of things, and we brought it into a meeting with our marketing team. And our marketing team was like, oh yeah, these are good ideas, great job, but what if we tweaked it like this or added this in? And so they were coming up with new ideas that our brains just felt burnt out. Our brains were like, we've thought this thing to death and we just can't figure out what else we could add into this. And so we were kind of coming up on that creative staleness. And so just having that new set of eyes looking at what we had already thought of, they came with this whole new idea that ended up working great alongside of what we did. And so I think that was a really positive experience of having just a new set of eyes and different views and diversity. So it's not just one department looking at something, but you can get feedback from multiple people, multiple departments to kind of narrow in and find that right decision. So those are my 3 questions for Module 7. Thank you guys, and I look forward to listening to all your videos. Thank you.